the National Endowment for the Humanities, bringing you the stories that define us.
Can you say your first and last name, please?
Okay, my name right now is Katy Grijalva-Ponce. But when I was in San Rosario, I was baptized, born Catalina Araceli Grijalva, parents of Francisco Grijalva and Anita Aranda. I'm the 13th of 15 children that they had.
15 children?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're
Wow.
15.
That's insane. I can't even grasp
Right,
my mind
me
around
neither.
to having one.
Poor mom. She was a mother.
Yes.
And she was a real good mother. Never cussed, never just accepted life for what it was. It was tough, but she accepted life. Mm-hmm. Everything was hard in those days.
Was it?
Having to wash outside, warm the water outside, make your own fire to wash. She had a hard life.
Really? Wow. She was also from here?
No, she was born in Aguascalientes, but her mother brought her when she was an infant. Brought her to El Paso, and ended up here in San Elizario.
My dad's from Guanajuato.
Really?
Yes.
And she was an only child. She was an only child, but then her mother married a very old man. And then they had a baby girl, but the baby girl was always sick and she died at the age of 10. So mother was the only child.
Wow, from an only child to 15 kids.
And she never thought she was going to be alone, because when the last one got married, he's still in the same house, in an apartment right next to the house, attached to the house. But she never thought she was going to be alone. She would say, I wish I would have more children. I said, you're crazy. Mm-hmm. Right, she just accepted life. She had my father was pretty strict, but he got there. My mother had inherited some property, and father started farming it. And with a third grade education, he ended up, when he died, he had already bought 5 farms. He had a lot of property, a lot of acres. Uh-huh.
And that was around what time, do you recall?
From the 3rd grade, well, father was born, I think, in about 1898. And he died in about 1960. It didn't really progress. It's hard for me to believe that from 3rd grade he learned Spanish, he learned English, he learned to write, he learned math, everything. And with such little education, and I don't know how he did it, and being a very prominent farmer, very rich, ended up with 5 farms when he died. He had 5 farms. I couldn't remember. I want to have to find out how many acres, but he had a lot of. So when he died, there was 20 of us living in. The property was divided into all of us. We gave everything to mother because she died without a will. We gave everything to mother, and mother gave us all our share. Mm-hmm. Everybody got an equal share.
Okay. What is one of the fondest memories that you recall growing up in San Elizario? You were talking about the jumping into the river and swimming and everything.
The fondest memories?
Or how would you describe your childhood growing up here?
I don't know how to describe it. Well, even though we were a big family, we were very peaceful. Mm-hmm. A peaceful family, I guess, because her mother was a very peaceful person. And she accepted life the way it came, and that's it. But what do I remember? I know father was kind of strict, mm-hmm. But then because we respected him, we respected both parents. But the fondest memories, I guess the fondest memories were when we were growing up. My mother used to take us. She would find out, because we had a big property. She would find a big tree and we'd have picnics under a tree. He'd take us out to lunch. He'd just get whatever she was cooking and put it in pans or whatever, and just took us out to picnics. She loved picnics.
That's awesome.
And my fondest memories also are Easter Sunday. We always got together. After we all grew up, we always got together and we'd do it at the farm in Clint, and we had Easter egg hunts, and we had a picnic all day long with football. We had enough team for the baseball, football, and volleyball, and everything, because there was so many of us. Because when I got married in 1956, I already had 50 nieces and nephews. So all my brothers and sisters ended up having big families.
Wow. How old were you when you got married?
20.
20.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I was 20 and I didn't start having children till about 10 years later. But
Oh, in your 30s? You started in your 30s having
Right.
children?
late 20s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you enjoyed your marriage.
Oh my goodness, we had a ball. All just togetherness. I wasn't no rush. I mean, if I had children, fine. If not, fine. I wasn't upset. I said, well, it's fine. If I didn't have children, you know how people try to have children and they get upset. No, I didn't even think of that. I said, we'll have children, fine. If not, fine. We had some very, very, very good years.
Mm.
Very good years.
And you moved away from the
Well,
Philippines?
when we got married, we moved to El Paso because we bought a house before we got married. My husband bought a house in El Paso. And we moved to El Paso. Then we only lived in El Paso. And then we lived in 3 different houses in El Paso. And then my husband was working at White Sands Missile Range. And then he was transferred to New Jersey. From New Jersey, we went overseas to a place called Kwajalein Missile Range, which is between Hawaii and Australia. And then we came back, and then we came to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. From Atlanta, Georgia, we came back to El Paso.
Oh. What was his occupation? Because he was in White Sands.
He was what was it? An office manager, staff. He was in charge of 30 female employees as secretaries. Supervisor. He was a staff supervisor, a quick supervisor. But the reason we got transferred a lot because he was working in White Sands. He was working for Bell Telephone Laboratories and with Western Electric, and they had a contract with the government. So when the contract with the government ceased in New Mexico, then he was transferred to New Jersey.
Okay.
And then there was some missile range overseas in Kwajalein Missile Range, one of the Carolina Islands, they call them. And we were there 3 years. And then after that, they brought us to Georgia. But it's because the government had a contract, Bell Telephone had a contract with the government, so.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't a government employee, but Bell Telephone worked for Western Electric.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of traveling. You traveled a lot.
Right. Western Electric would, I can explain about Bell Telephone. Western Electric would think of ideas and Bell Telephone would put them to work.
Mm-hmm.
They both worked together, Bell Telephone and Western Electric.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Alrighty. One of the questions that we also have was, when you were growing up here in Sanelli, was there like an event that happened? An exciting event that happened here in Sanelli?
No, just a fiesta, just an Alsario fiesta, which was September 27th. And then the San Isidro fiesta, which was May 15th. Those were big. We look forward to that. Those were the biggest things in our lives, I think, the fiestas.
Mm-hmm. What were they like?
Oh, very enjoyable, they were just very, very enjoyable, and a lot of, we had a lot of parades, and the church, a lot of, what is it you call it when the church goes, I forget the word.
What was it?
The church had a lot of Well, you walk from church to church or house to house.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Anyway. But that's what I remember is all those fiestas. Because we'd get new clothes and we'd dress up and everything. Everything. Everybody was very dressy, not like nowadays, shorts and whatever. We all dressed up for everything. Hot or not, we didn't even think about that weather. And it was so hot, we didn't even have air conditioners. But those were the big things. And growing up as a child, I remember we always used to play with mud in the farmland. When the water, as soon as it started drying, we used to play with mud. We used to make a lot of characters with mud, airplanes and soldiers and everything. So, and when I had my girls, I didn't even want to touch it much. I don't want it to get dirty.
You grew up in very outside, in the outside
Right,
conditions.
and we
Not
used to
like
help.
right now.
We used to help pick cotton, but it was just for fun. Picking cotton for fun, making our own pillows with cotton for fun, taking the seats off or whatever. And Father didn't like for us to play in the cotton, in the trailer full of cotton, but when he wasn't there, we always did.
Because it hurts, right? When you pick the cotton sometimes. Like
It's nice to play in cotton, but then if some object falls in the cotton, that's no good.
Yeah. You can't
But
distinguish.
we played a lot outdoors. We played a lot outdoors after dinner. Because in those days we didn't have TV. So.
Yeah. There was nothing interrupting that.
No.
Yeah. Do you remember if there was like a scary resident in San Elizario? Somebody that was known like
They used to say that there was ghosts. No, not really. They claimed that in my house at years from they claimed that that the piano would play by itself and all that, but we never believed it. But that's what they say.
Yeah. There's always a lot of scary.
And now that the house was remodeled, and my sister remodeled the house and everything, and it's still there, and they claim it's haunted, but I don't know which way, because my sister remodeled the house. She and her husband, they paid a lot of money to remodel the house. They do it, and then she died, so she got to see the house, but she never got to live in the house.
Oh, okay.
And she never wanted to sell it, but after she died, her husband sold it. And they claim that her ghost is there. Her spirits are there.
Yeah. So right now the house is sold to somebody else. It's not within the family.
See, what happened is that the house was in the middle of, we were just surrounded by cotton fields. Lots of acres of cotton fields. And then there was this house. And then, when Father died, my brothers, they started selling property to different people so they could build. So right now, the house is right here in the middle of nowhere. It's right next to it's a big house right across the high school, the school is in LA.
Okay.
The school in Socorro Road. It's a house right across. And there's houses all around it. Now, I don't think it's even in an acre. I think it's half an acre.
Really?
Now it's in the middle of nowhere. So my sister-in-law is hoping that somebody in the family would buy it. But nobody in the family was interested because it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's in the middle of thing. It doesn't have any property.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful house, but it doesn't have any property.
But it still has memories there.
It has memories, but not nobody in the family kept it. I wanted my grandchildren. I wanted to show it to my grandchildren, but I don't know whether the people there would allow it, because when my sister remodeled it, it was kind of the same, but she changed a lot of things. Because in those days, houses didn't have hallways, and she made it to where it had a hallway to all the rooms.
Oh.
In my days, we had to cross one room to go to another room, and we had to cross one room to go to the bathroom. But she remodeled it real good, but she never lived in it because she and her husband lived downtown.
Okay. That's a big change from San Elizario to downtown.
Well, because when San Luis people get married, they get away from the farms. They go downtown. Almost all my brothers and sisters, except the ones that were farmers, stayed here. If they weren't farmers, someone quit farmers. I have about 50 nephews, and only one is a farmer.
Wow.
He's already, my girl said he's already 59. He's the only farmer. One of my brother's sons.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody left the farm. It's hard work, so everybody left the farm.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Wow.
And he's doing okay because his father left him a lot of land and all that. He continued farming because he liked it. The other ones really were farmers because they had to. That's the only thing the father could offer them, farming.
Yeah.
But after father died, a lot of them just left the
They
farms,
don't want to do it.
went on their own.
Okay. How many brothers and how many sisters did you
I
have?
had 7 brothers and how many girls would they be? No.
8? 7 brothers.
This is what happened. There was 12 because mother lost one baby,
Oh,
and then she had a miscarriage, and then when died in World War II, so there was
5 sisters.
7 brothers and 5 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
The brothers were gone way before the sisters, but now there's only 2 of us left.
2 sisters.
I have a sister that's 89, and I'm 86.
Okay.
There's only 2 left in the family, but there's over 300 of cousins because everybody continued having babies
Yeah.
except 2. Some of us had 4, 10, 12, 8, 9. The whole family.
That's great.
Only 2 of us had. One of us had 1, and I had 3, and the rest are 6, and etc.
They continued
They're multiplying galore. There's over 300 right now.
That's great. Wow. My mom had 12 siblings,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad had 7 siblings.
Oh, okay.
And now my dad and my uncle are the only living ones right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my aunts sadly passed away during COVID because of
Oh.
COVID. Yeah, but we
So
have a lot
what's
of
your father's last name?
Almaguer.
See, I never went to any Almagueres in high school because I went to Sleda High School, but I don't remember that name at
No,
all.
it's very. I can't find it anywhere.
You know, when I was in Sleda, 90% were gringos, Anglos. There was only 10% Spanish-speaking Mexicans, and now
It's the other way.
I don't think there's any gringos left. I don't even know where they are, because we used to go to church, and there was a lot of Anglos, and now you don't even see them.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. I don't know where they lived.
I think we took over.
Yes, but who are they?
You know
They
what?
must have moved when they had little babies, and they moved away from El Paso, because El Paso isn't what it used to be.
No, I think they mostly left because.
I guess they left when they
Yeah.
were babies. They never,
Yeah, they were like, nope.
because it was real weird that Isleta High had 90% Anglos, gringos, 10%, and now you don't even see it. Not even in church. I don't know where they are.
No, we took over. You were talking about the picnics that your mom had made.
Oh, she used to just fix sandwich out of anything, boiled eggs, fried whatever, and took us out of a picnic.
Was there? Oh no.
She just liked picnics.
Was there a specific food that you liked that she prepared? A specific dish? Like my dish that my mom makes is chiles en nogada. That they don't really make it here.
No, mother cooks a little bit of everything. I don't even know where she learned how to cook because she didn't have sisters. Maybe, I don't know who taught her how to cook, but she would cook a lot of things, but they didn't have names. But now you go to a restaurant. Oh, mother used to cook that, but they didn't have a name. Mother used to cook that. Mother used to cook a lot of different things, but I can't remember anything specifically. But she always had green chili with meat, and she always had beans. She made her own tortillas. Every Saturday she made tubs of yeast bread. She made asaderos. She made cheese. She milked cows. She did everything. She raised chickens, she raised turkeys, and they sold them for Thanksgiving. She raised dogs, and she just loved everything. Besides children, he loved everything.
Is there something that, I don't know, was passed down to you from a family, like an item?
No. See, what happened is that when mother died, my younger sister lived with my mother after father died. She got a divorce and she lived with my mother for many years. So when mother died, my older sister was living with her, so she took care of everything. And I never got involved because at that time I had my two girls. They were only 18 months apart. So I didn't even care for it.
Mm-hmm.
My children was my life.
Yeah.
And after they grew up to teenage, then I realized I never got anything from mom.
Yeah.
2 years later, I got what? I got a cup and a saucer from her China that I had bought her. But no, I didn't get anything from father. He left us a lot of property. But from mom, no, because my sister kept everything. She was only with her.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fight for anything because I didn't even care.
Yeah.
I was so happy with my children, I didn't care.
Is there a question that you wish you could have asked a family member before they passed away?
God, it's awful that there's so many things that I never asked mother. And I can think of one thing right now, but there's a lot of things that I never asked her because mother was she was a very private person. Mother was a very private person. She never talked really anything about herself. She had third, fourth cousins in Aguascalientes, but she only went to visit them once, and she didn't like the poor life, so she never went back.
Mm-hmm.
Father did, but not mother. But what was the question? Did I give anything? I get anything from her? No, I just learned to be patient and love it and accept life for what it is. Because she was obedient 100%, 300, 500% to my father. She was just there. When he died, she was so alone. And we used to tell her, Mom, now you can get whatever you want. No, it wasn't the same. She just worshipped him, really.
Yeah. Wow. And you don't see that nowadays.
No, this is the only thing I got from my mom is to be obedient and to accept life for what it is, period.
Mm-hmm.
She was very submissive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't find it anymore. None of us, I don't think any of us followed that or been submissive and accept life and everything because things changed. In those days, a mother was a mother and she stayed home and that's it. And a mother was a mother and obeyed her husband and blah, blah, blah. You don't see that anymore. And I don't think any of my sisters would fit into the category that I say she was like mom. No, she wasn't. I have a sister that was very religious, but no, there's no way that she's like mom. Because mom used to just submissive in everything my dad said.
I don't think I could ever.
No, she was very.
Submissive.
No, it was always. And it was always father. And farmers are. I always said when you're married a farmer, because farmers come home at any time. You have to have their coffee ready, their food ready. At any time, you're always there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever she was doing, and she had time for everything. She used to make us clothes. She used to sew for her grandchildren. She had time for everything. She used to take care of the animals, milk the cow. She did everything. And every night, one thing I remember, every night we all went to her bedroom and kneeled around her bed and had said the rosary every single night. Every single night we would say the rosary. And it was so funny because she would be saying, "Our Father, did you feed the cow? Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Are you sure the dogs are in?" And she would always, "Did anybody bring the clothes in? Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." And Freddie, is she home? Or all the prayers involved the family. So I guess the families were involved inside the prayers.
Within
It was
the
so
dog.
funny when she said, "Did you, after Hail Mary, did you milk the cow? Or did you bring the cat in? Or did you bring the chicken? Did you close the chicken coop?"
That's amazing, though. That's amazing.
And she used to order, she was the only one that used to order chicks in the post office. So the post office, all of a sudden, we heard a lot of chicks, and they were mom's chicks. She raised a lot of chicks. She said she had time to raise family and chicks and turkeys and everything and to sell them for Thanksgiving.
Wow. So your Thanksgiving, they were.
Oh, for Thanksgiving, we had everything. We had so much. We always got together until Mother died. Every year for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter Sunday, 4th of July, the whole family got together. But after Mother died, after Father died, we continued. But after Mother died, everybody was ready to be with their own family. So we never got together again. That's something that was very sad because we used to look forward to just getting together.
Yeah.
But 4 times a year.
And I imagine, like, since there were so many people. it would
Like
be,
I said, we used to have volleyball teams and baseball teams and any kind of team. We had it.
Yeah, you could do that. Wow. Another question that we have is, when you drive to San Elizario, do you stop at a certain spot, or is there some place that you really want to go to, or you just visit family?
Just the house. It is so sad that the house is in the middle of houses and stores. It's right next to the dollars on, what is that, Family Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
The house is here, the high school is here, the pizza place is here, the Family Dollar is here, and one of my nephews is here, and there's houses all around. So it's very sad. It's very sad because Sanel used to have a lot of trees in the highway, and now there's no trees. I don't know why they got rid of all the trees and put the electric poles or whatever. Today, it's so funny. People like the olden days or whatever, but I'm not even proud of San Elizario anymore.
What is that?
Because it just kept up. It's just a bunch of junky place. As soon as you hit the high school, there's junk all over it.
Yeah. It's not the same.
But historical people like it, you know. They like old towns, I guess, because I was born and raised here. I guess I feel like it should be prettier instead of uglier.
Yeah.
But Lillian, she's my niece, and Lillian loves all this old things, and not me. I don't even care. You know, she shows me all these things, and I'm going to do tours with her here, and she likes all that. I guess history, genealogy, whatever. And to me, I don't even care where I came from, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we're here once and that's it. It is sad, that's it.
And it's not the same.
And it's not the same. It is an entirely different place. Because it was very few. It was a very small community. We only had one school, grade school. We had to go to high school in Isleta or Clint. Now there's so many schools. We're happy with just one school. Now that one school is so beautiful, it's modernized, it's got air conditioner. In those days, we didn't even have it. We didn't even need it.
Did you have to drive all the way to?
No, the San Elizario bus would take us all the way to Isleta. But if you went to Clint, you found your own transportation. But to Isleta, and the bus went by our house, so we were very lucky. We didn't even have to walk to the bus.
Was it different?
They took us every day at 7 o'clock in the morning and bring us back by 3:30.
3:30.
Every single day.
Was it different, like, for Clint and Isleta, or?
Isleta, a very big, prestigious school, and Clint was just a little school. So people went to Clint they claimed it was easier to study, but because the classes were smaller than Isleta. Let's say Isleta classes were 40, 50 children, including maybe 10 or 20 or less.
Okay.
But my father didn't even care if we went to high school or not, because my father always believed that the husband was going to take care of us and we didn't have to educate ourselves as women, you know. But mother taught me to, so all of us went to high school, except 2 of them that dropped.
Yeah. And did you enjoy high school? Did you like it? Did you
Oh
graduate?
yes,
from high
but
school?
I felt very. I didn't feel comfortable because here we all spoke Spanish. It was just our heritage, Mexicans here, and over there it was all Anglo. So I felt out of place. It wasn't until about the 4th year that I felt comfortable, but I never did because you know all this Anglo used to look down at you because of your heavy accent or because you weren't Anglo.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoyed high school because I got the education because of mother's the one who pushed father to let us go to high school. But I really didn't enjoy high school because I was very shy. You know, people have fun in high school. I didn't have fun. I was very shy. But we did. My sister and I belonged to the band. We marched for 4 years. For 4 years, we belonged to the band, and we all went to about 3-4 parades a year downtown. I mean, in El Paso, right in the city.
What did you play?
So there was the bell. And my sister played the saxophone. And there was the only outing the father used to let us go to. We used to go to their parties, their picnics. If it had to do with the band, we were allowed to do that.
Okay. And how did you meet your husband?
When one of my brothers got married, he was the best man, and I was one of the damas. And I said, I just liked him from the beginning. And I got a friend of mine to talking me to getting together and going out with my sister and her other and her boyfriend. So that's how we met. And after 2 years, we got married.
Wow.
After a few months, we got engaged, and after another year, we got married.
Wow. And he was from San Elizario too?
He was from Clint. He was from Clint, and you know, it's bad because we used to play a lot of different kinds of sports with Clint. And I never noticed it because I found out when I married, I found out why I didn't notice it because he was very dark complected. And I like the gringos. But he wasn't a gringo, but after that, when he went in the army, in the Navy, he was lighter. But when he was in Clint High School, I don't even remember him. And he used to play in the football game with us and in basketball games and everything, and I don't remember him at all.
Well, maybe you bumped into him during band and you
No.
never...
No. I didn't notice him until one of my brothers got married, and I liked him from the beginning. So I made sure that he was going to be mine.
Yeah.
So I had my sister's boyfriend invite him to double date, and that's how we dated.
And how was dating during that time?
My father was very strict. We had to lie. You become liars when your father's strict. Mother knew every place we were going because there was 3 girls, and my brother would take us out, but we all had different things. One of us would go to the movies, the other one would go bowling, and the other one would go different things. Mother used to say, as long as you're here at the same time. Mother knew because we even went to Juarez a few times, which was a no-no. We don't think father knew, but they say father wasn't now. He knew. That's what they say, that he knew.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an issue date. Father never let me go out with him, not even before we were engaged to be married. Not even a month before we got married. I had to take either my small brother or small sister with us everywhere. He won't let us date.
Wow.
Not even before.
That is true though, because
But he was very strict in that department.
Yeah, mine too.
And mother would cover up for us. She was good. She would just say, just be sure and be here at the same time. So my brother would leave us here in different places and then pick us up, and then we all came home at the same time.
Yeah.
And father was sleep. But they claimed, oh, father wasn't dumb. He knew what was going on.
Yeah. He was like, I know.
He was a very, very good husband, but there wasn't room for too much loving because of all the children, I guess. He was too busy making ends meet, making money for, and then dying and then leaving everything.
Yeah.
They work for their children.
Yeah.
They're sad. Well, not sad because he used to go to Mexico City once a year. His promise was to go to Mexico City and visit a lady at Guadalupe.
Yes.
Every year he stopped in when I was Clinton to say hi to the cousins, mother's cousins, and all the way to Mexico City. He had a promise to do that, and he did it for about 20 years.
Wow.
And sometimes he would take us. Because there was three of us. Sometimes he would take one of the girls, just with him.
And you ended up going one of those times? Wow.
I ended up going twice, and my other sister twice, and my older sister ended up marrying a Mexican from Aguascalientes, who was a policeman.
Wow.
And when he came to this, to El Paso, Dos Angeles, he learned how to work with tractors and everything. He learned everything a farmer knows. And I met her about 5 years. He was a very smart policeman.
Wow. That's very interesting that she met someone over there.
It was, but I was more interested that once he came here, he didn't go back home. And he was a breadwinner of his family. But he just, I don't know, he just liked it so much that he just stayed here.
Yeah.
And my father, they showed him how to be a real farmer.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know anything about farming.
Wow. I barely visited Guanajuato for the first time in my whole life with my dad in February.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I didn't know I had like 20 cousins over there.
Oh.
Yeah, so it is amazing going and visiting.
Right. We have a few, because since mother was the only child, she had second cousins or whatever. So when we went, there were second, third cousins. It was very nice, but they were real poor, and now they're doctors, they're lawyers, they have farms, they have milk, whatever, pastures. They're very. Mother only saw the poor side of them.
Yeah.
And so she never wanted to go back.
Yeah. I know you were talking about the city. The improvements and everything. Is there something that you wish they could do different, San Elisario?
Well, the main street, coming in the main street, get rid of all those junky cars or houses that are falling. I don't know.
It looks sad.
Well, right, because it used to be a nice farmland community, but now it's getting to where it's too junky. And I don't even know all of it because I just found out last year that there's a lot of property on that side. Oh, let me see. On the other side. Like Lilian's, where Lilian's grandfather from the house they used to live, the Trujillos. There's a lot of property on that side that I didn't even know there was. It's cleaner. But real San Eli, I don't know what they can do to improve it. Just to make it more attractive. But people come anyway. Those historical people, I don't know what they're seeing in. But that's how historical people are. They like old places.
Yeah, they do.
But San Eli used to be just very few houses and a lot of land. And now there's very few land. There's not any land.
Yeah.
There's just houses and houses and houses. You don't see a big piece of property anymore.
You really don't. No.
Maybe on the other side, but not on this side.
Yeah.
How can they improve it? No, everything's fine. So it's not going to be improved.
Yeah. Well, one of the last questions that I have is, you personally, anything else that you want to add from your childhood? Anything else that you want to add from growing up?
Well, the best thing that I remember is going to midnight mass, and after midnight mass coming home, and we all knew one kind of instrument. We had cousins that played instruments, so there was about 10 of us that would get together and play Christmas carols after the midnight mass for about an hour or two. There was mother. She was always ahead of the game. She was very close to the teacher and the music teacher, Sanelli. So I think that's who helped her a lot. But we all played some kind of instrument. There was the cousins from moved from El Paso. They lived in El Paso and they lived here in Sanelli for about 5 years. And we all had just some kind of instrument. So we would get together and play Christmas carols right after the midnight mass. But in those days, Mother never even offered us hot chocolate. I don't remember cookies. I remember it is. All I remember is playing. You have to play. That's all.
Yeah. That was Christmas.
That was the best Christmas. The 4th of July, great picnics, great family. When Mother was alive, picnics was a thing. Every special occasion. Thanksgiving, we always got together. Christmas, we got together. Picnics, we had July the 4th and Easter Sunday with a lot of cascarones, a lot of texts. We were there in the farm in the middle of nowhere in Clint, in the farm, with all this food all day long. And we never got sick, like the mayonnaise and all that. No. We had the food there all day long. It was an all day long picnic without even refrigerators or ice or anything.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody died of that.